Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video, doing European outlook for today's second video. So as also on a Thursday, we're having a detailed look at the weather for the next week to 10 days across Europe, and I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video today was the 6 AM upload, and we've got a 10 to 14 day with all of the regular features coming at you later on this afternoon. Please like, share, subscribe on videos. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Right, so we're going to start off with the situation across Europe today. So we've got an area of high pressure up over northern parts of Scandinavia and into northwestern Russia. Low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic into many western parts of Europe, and also low pressure down across the central portion of the Mediterranean. High pressure reaching in from the Azores into Spain and Portugal. Upper air temperatures look quite cool in the north and west of Europe, warmer in the southern and eastern portion of Europe. And precipitation wise, we've got heavy showers and thunderstorms here from Italy going northwards in towards Hungary and Austria, and into southern parts of Poland. Also some heavy showers, long spells of rain, could be some windiness mixed in through parts of Scandinavia, Norway and into Sweden. The northeast Europe, Finland and the Baltic Sea states generally looking quite dry. And then out west we've got more showers and longer spells of rain through the UK, Ireland, France and into the Low Countries and western parts of Germany. Down into the Mediterranean, the western portion of the Med mostly dry, and back to Spain and Portugal away from the far north. Those heavy showers of course through Italy, and then drier again over on the eastern side of the Med. And temperature wise, still quite cold across the far north and northeast of Europe, particularly north Scandinavia and towards Finland. Further west it's chilly, it's quite cool through much of the UK, Ireland, France, the Low Countries, Germany too. Milder as we get into Italy, and we get in towards Poland and Ukraine, I should say. And then going down to southeast Ukraine, quite warm there through the Balkans into the eastern part of the Med, and back into the central and western bowl of the Mediterranean as well. Well, that's the situation tomorrow. High pressure strengthening over Scandinavia, bringing easterly winds to much of northern Europe. Wind coming out of Russia, though it won't be an especially cold wind. Further south, we're going to have more areas of low pressure, excuse me, across the central portion of the Med and into the Balkans as well, with low pressure coming through the UK into parts of France. Upper air temperatures look like that, generally cool again in the northwest Europe, mildest in the south and the eastern part of Europe. And precipitation wise, a lot of heavy rain then from Germany into the south of Poland, and going south of that in towards again Hungary, Austria, those sort of regions getting lots of big downpours. They extend a little bit further eastwards as well. Could be some heavy showers and downpours into the Balkans and around Italy, with more rain coming in across France and just flirting with southern England. Elsewhere, the UK and Ireland will have further showers. Some wet weather getting into northern parts of Portugal and Spain as well, though most of Spain and Portugal looks mostly dry and sunny, and much of the central part of the Med again have got a dry weather. Some of those showers could break out in the far eastern portion of the Mediterranean tomorrow. Temperatures still looking cold across the extreme northern part of Scandinavia and Norway, but otherwise mildest temperatures are in the south and the east, coolest again in the north and the west. Signs of a change on Saturday as high pressure begins to ridge from the Azores up towards the Scandinavian high and starts to force a low pressure further southwards and eastwards across Europe. The upper air temperatures still looking relatively cool across the northwest of Europe. Warmest upper air temperatures still in the southern and eastern part of Europe. Precipitation wise, it's turning drier in the north and west, so still some showers left, particularly through parts of France and into the northern part of Spain as well, perhaps. But the real wet weather is actually a little bit further eastwards through Germany, and then on in towards the eastern side of Europe and down into the central bowl of the Med, around the Balkans again. Some heavy showers and downpours can be expected through there. The Mediterranean dry on either side of that wet weather. Beginning to get a little bit milder in the west of Europe. Temperatures lifting up through France into the Low Countries, Belgium, Holland, Netherlands, even into the UK, but temperatures just begin to edge up a little bit as those yellow colours start to appear. Still looking quite cold though across central northern parts of Norway and also Sweden and up into northern Finland. Further southwards again, there's going to be more showers through the, or it's going to be relatively warm weather I should say, through southern central parts of Spain and Portugal. And generally mild, of course, through much of the Med. Excuse me, once more. I'm full of it today, everyone. So sorry. Into Sunday, high pressure again is ridging through the north and west of Europe, taking the areas of low pressure the southwards and eastwards. Upper air temperatures are getting milder or warmer up the western side of Europe. Still quite chilly across the far north of Europe. It'll be relatively warm through southern, eastern and southeastern parts of Europe as well. But wet weather, the showers and the longer spells of rain, they're getting pushed further towards the eastern side of Europe and down into the southeastern corner of the Mediterranean, as most of northern and western Europe turns drier into that area of high pressure. Becoming milder as well across most parts of Western Europe, becoming quite warm maybe, even into the UK, Ireland, Denmark, for example, could be seeing temperatures into 15 Celsius as the coldness of the air over central North Scandinavia begins to retreat away. Much of Eastern Europe looking relatively mild, as does Southern Europe as well, looking quite warm through there. Well, by Monday, high pressure has completely taken over the pattern across most parts of northern and also western Europe. All of the low pressure tending to be more towards the southern and southeastern side of Europe. The upper air temperatures, again, still a little bit on the chilly side across the far north, but generally mild or warm in the west and also in the southern and eastern portion. Actually quite hot as we go further southwards into Spain and Portugal. Further heavy showers and maybe some downpours through the eastern, southeastern corner of Europe. Driest weather again in the north with a high pressure and also extending into western parts of Europe, and quite a mild or a warm day briefly in most parts of Western Europe, with temperatures going up into the mid-teens Celsius at least, possibly even into the high teens Celsius, 19, maybe 20 degrees could be possible. And then Northern Scandinavia, you know, the cold air there is retreating away, so it's gradually getting milder from the south even there. Most parts of Europe looking very pleasantly mild by the beginning of next week. Now that's Tuesday, just picking up a little bit more an easterly wind with this Scandinavian high across some central and western parts of Europe. Further southward, but it is high pressure dominating there. Further southward, we've got the low pressure across the southern and eastern parts of Europe. So the upper air temperatures are generally looking quite mild in most areas, but some cooler air could be getting pulled out of Russia into some of the central and northern parts of Europe on that easterly wind. Well, so it won't feel overly mild with that easterly wind blowing. And precipitation-wise, we see that the wettest weather again, it's like southern France into Italy, around the Balkans, into the southeastern corner of Greece and Turkey, and then go northward towards the Black Sea and into southern parts of Ukraine. Heavy showers, thunderstorms there. Meanwhile, further northwest, of course, with high pressure dominating, bringing lots of dry weather to much of northern and also western parts of Europe. The temperatures look like that. So relatively mild in the east of Europe. In fact, relatively mild in most places, but with that easterly wind blowing, it just edges the temperature down by a few degrees to, you know, Poland and Germany and Denmark, and back even into the UK as well. Still that easterly on Wednesday, the high pressure centred over Scandinavia. Easterly winds continue. So again, we're looking at the warmest of the upper air temperatures across southern parts of Europe, but generally quite mild with those upper air temperatures in most places. Further heavy showers, thunderstorms, long spells, rain and downpours from Italy over the Adriatic to the Balkans, down into towards Greece and also Turkey, and go northwards to the Black Sea and in this eastern southeastern part of Europe, and then generally most northern western parts of Europe mainly dry. Again, you know, temperatures are relatively mild, although not particularly spectacular, and it will feel cooler when we have those easterly winds. And the scenario continues really to Thursday. You have high pressure again dominating much of northern Europe, bringing lots of dry weather, upper air temperatures relatively mild, and yes, you know, with the precipitation, but wettest weather again, especially southern, southeastern parts of Europe, the driest of weather is always with high pressure in the north and west, and the temperatures again relatively pleasant in most places. And I'll just run you on to day 10. So with time at areas of high pressure gradually retrogressing towards Iceland and Greenland again, so just trying to start bringing down some colder air into northern Europe by the weekend of the 22nd, 23rd of April. This trough of low as a high pressure pulls out towards Greenland and Iceland, just threatening to bring a return of northerly winds into Scandinavia, which might bring another late spell of wintry weather. However, most parts of Europe are still dominated by that ridge of high pressure, bringing dry and relatively mild and warm weather. Of course, we have to wait and see whether those northerly winds do set in through the final week of the month. Right, that's your European outlook for this week. We'll do it all over again next week. And I'm going to be back later on with your 10 to 14 days, so come back for that shortly for the European outlook this week. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.